You go to school, you get a job, you take out a massive mortgage, and you work every hour of the day, just to earn enough to retire at 67 and finally get that sheet cake. That chronological sequence is the blueprint most of us are handed. But if you look closely at the math, you realize this path is incredibly efficient at keeping you broke, obedient, and stuck in a continuous loop of trading your physical time for a paycheck. Take Mark Tilbury. He left school at 16 with exactly 0 qualifications. He started out working as a carpenter's apprentice, earning barely enough to keep his head above water. Mark realized early on that the financial rules heavily pushed by society, the ones drilled into us by teachers and well-meaning parents, are actually a set of myths designed to maintain the status quo. To actually build wealth and escape this lifelong trap, you have to actively unlearn the lies embedded at every major milestone of the standard life blueprint. The indoctrination starts right as you enter adulthood, with the deeply ingrained idea that going to university guarantees a high-paying job. The modern school system was largely funded and shaped by early industrialists. They didn't design it to create independent thinkers or entrepreneurs. They needed a system that produced obedient, specialized workers to man their assembly lines. Today, 41% of graduates are working in jobs that don't even require a degree. True financial independence is built on mastering adaptable, high-income skills like video editing, B2B software sales, or computer coding, skills the open market actually demands. Then comes the next piece of standard career advice: follow your passion. The flaw here is assuming the economy will compensate you simply because you enjoy doing a particular hobby. A much more pragmatic approach is to follow effort and market demand first. You master a valuable skill, get paid well for it, and then use that resulting financial success to fund your personal passions later. By relying strictly on traditional institutional education and chasing blind passion, millions of young adults are left financially vulnerable and deeply in debt before their adult lives even truly begin. Next, you enter your prime earning years, and you're hit with the most universally accepted rule of all: buying a house to live in is the ultimate wealth-generating asset. Mark's son Curtis faced this exact scenario. He had saved up $70,000 from working as a freelance videographer. The standard advice was to lock that money away as a deposit on a house. But buying a personal property locks up all the money you've worked so hard to earn, turning it into dead equity. Instead, Curtis upped his cash liquid and reinvested it into building his media business. That business now generates around $1 million a year. Curious. This brings us to another heavily guarded rule. Traditional financial advice insists that you should avoid borrowing money at all costs. This balance sheet shows the difference between two types of debt. Bad debt borrows at a 20% rate to buy depreciating consumer goods. Good debt borrows at 3% to acquire an asset generating an 8% return, letting you pocket the difference. By confusing liabilities with assets, the middle class unknowingly traps their capital in the very homes they live in. Combine that with high-interest consumer loans, and they are left highly exposed to financial ruin the moment the economy slows down. In the final phase of the traditional blueprint, you are told to prepare for the future by saving as much cash in a bank account as possible. This chart compares a 0.5% savings yield against a 3.8% inflation rate, showing how holding cash actively erodes purchasing power. Cash provides a temporary safety net, but to build wealth, your capital must transition to a sharply rising invested curve. This leads to the final systemic lie: the belief that passive income is a scam and that you must physically trade your time for money until the day you die. The wealthy completely separate their time from their income. They do this by building automated business systems and acquiring assets like index funds or dividend-paying stocks, which generate regular payments without requiring daily labor. Sticking to the traditional savings and labor model practically guarantees a delayed, stressful retirement. Strategic investing creates scalable leverage that pays you while you sleep. To keep the working class pacified within this system, society pushes one final philosophical idea: that money doesn't buy happiness. The reality is that money directly resolves foundational human stressors. It secures reliable housing, access to quality healthcare, and healthy food, completely removing the daily panic of living paycheck to paycheck. The true purpose of wealth is not the ability to purchase flashy luxury goods or sports cars,
Wealth is the mechanism required to buy total freedom and absolute control over how you spend your time. You're now at a crossroads. You can take the comfortable route and return to the regged 9-to-5 script, or you can face the difficult, uncomfortable work required to actually build wealth. It's time to permanently abandon the boomer blueprint. By acquiring high-income skills, utilizing strategic debt, and investing your capital, you can stop running on someone else's timeline and actively engineer your own financial independence.